Thomas, what does it feel like to be trying to get more minutes in the roster that you're starting to get stocked in?
Just feels good that trust between between the coaching staff and the players out here, man. I knew coming here, that my job is to hold the guys down and be ready whenever my time is called, whenever that might be. And I'm continuing to still do that at a high level. I hope that is. I hope I am performing at a high level for the guys out here, for my teammates and the coaches.
How beneficial is having a little bit of a break in the schedule at this time of the year?
I think it is very beneficial. I'd like to call these days like the December, January, February months the dog days right there. And a lot of the times you don't really get too many breaks between those times. We got a few guys that are nicked up, banged up and everything. I feel like that's a real key thing. But also getting back to our principles as well. We know we lost a couple games that we felt like we shouldn't have lost at all. But I think it was a good foundation for us, especially today, to just, get into the film, talk about it with each other, and then go out there and perform it in the practice field and then be ready for our next game.
I know that you weren't in Indiana the entirety of last season, but the fact that you started 10-15 leading into this week was one of the best teams in basketball after that. Was this time of year talked about there as a catalyst for change?
It's a great question. I will say that there are similarities to where I was in Indiana and here, to where we have had those breakdown talks and discussions with each other. I would say today was one of them that we've had as a staff and as a player organized group. And I feel like it'll catapult us right here. And I feel like this is a good time. Sometimes you have to feel that playoff ready mode. You have to feel those type of games. You have to feel those type of feelings throughout the season, so that way, it gets kind of engraved into you as the year goes on.
You mentioned just getting back to the principles. What has been the main focus since you got here?
Our main focus right now is just, getting everybody healthy first off, but also our defensive concepts. Getting back to our foundation of, what we like to take away from what we like to do and take away from our defensive principles out there. That was the main part right there. And we know the offense will come. We know guys have been out and banged up and everything, and the offense will flow. But the defense was the one that keeps us in the game and really helps us win the games a lot.
From Donovan down to a guy like Jalen Tyson, you guys all seem to understand that part of the reason for the slow start has been an intensity that deal. So when you guys are saying that, you don't understand that, but then it doesn't happen. Like, what's the disconnect there?
It's consistency level. I believe it's a very consistency level. We know what we have to do. We have smart players. We have very smart guys out here that understand what we have to do, understand the concepts of what we want to do and what we want to take away out there. It's just about being intentional about it and our focus. We have to put our 100% focus into it. We can't just start thinking like, oh, it might be this game. We can turn it on the second quarter or fourth quarter when we're down or anything. No, it has to start at the beginning of the game, before the clock starts, and then all the way to the clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter.
That's your point about this being a nice leverage. Do you expect to see a change in that kind of intensity when you guys come back?
Absolutely. I do believe that a shift will change quickly. Our intensity will shift quickly. Not into a desperation mode, but it comes to the concept of just like, this is what we have to do and this is what we have to bring day in and day out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Was everything that you just talked about, was that just the main topic of discussion in those player-led meetings today?
Yes, it was. Those are very big topic of discussions, but just also getting our enthusiasm back too. Having the joy, having our fun back. There's a few games where, we might make a player here and there, and we're not celebrating each other's joy out there. And that was a real big emphasis as well. It's a long season, it's a grueling season. We're gonna have ups and downs and everything, but our consistency level of what we do with each other has to stay the same, and that has to grow day in and day out. I think it was missing there's no excuses at all, but it's the challenge of the schedule. Playing games day in and day out. Guys are banged up. Key guys that we see are like our glue guys as well, are out as well. So it's like we have to figure things out on the fly, especially with young guys, new guys, guys that have played with each other, guys that haven't played with each other as much. It takes some time. There's no discredit to anything of those guys or anything, and there's no excuses as well. But I will say those are the things that kind of have us in this gray area right now.
TB, I asked Kenny a couple of days ago if he felt the team was pressing. Been around a lot of teams. when they kind of get a little grip. Do you feel that at all with this team? They're pressing somewhat.
Yes, I do. I do feel that. I feel like I feel in the concept that we're taking the grip and understanding what we want to do early on right now. You know, it's no more of just like, it's all good, we're going to wait till this time, we got this, we got that. No, we got to look at everything from a broader perspective right now. And that's why I think everybody's established, especially in our film session today.
So in your experience, how do you back that pressure off that there's still 2/3 of the season left to go?
Well, the thing is, pressure is a good thing. You know, pressure is a good thing. You know, we want that type of pressure. You know, I feel like on this team we have the capability to do something special. You know, I still believe that to this very day. And the only way we can do it is go out there and perform what we're talking about. And that's what we have to do.
TV, we talk about mental toughness with this team a whole lot. How do you build mental toughness, and do you think that's an area that you guys are still looking to grow in?
I think you can never stop growing in mental toughness, if anything. You know, there's a lot of mental stuff that has to go on, whether on the court, off the court. But this mental toughness comes through right now. You know, as what we're going through right now, losing games, you know, having players out, going through the dog days of, you know, the NBA and everything. These are the tough days. These are the mental toughness. These are the mental toughness days that we have to get through and build each other up. Just like I said, the enthusiasm, the trust, the belief system that we all have. We all have it. We have to show it now. And I think we got a real good concept of that.
Thank you.
Yes.